All right, boys and girls, this week for your independent work practice, you've been asked to work with 6-digit numbers and asking to represent them in different ways and compare and order them. So I'm going to share the examples that you can find on page 10, looking at how to compare the three numbers and also how to present them in 3 different forms. So right now we're going to put these numbers in order from least to greatest, and the easiest way to do that is to start on the left side of the number and work your way right. So right now I can see that these two numbers have a 9, so they are the biggest number. Here we can see that this number has a 1, and we know that 1 is smaller than 9. So we know that 135,294 is our smallest number. So let's put that number first. Okay, so we know that one is our smallest number. Now we go back to our two numbers that we realized were tied with the first digit. They both have 900,000 in them. So then we go to the next place value, which is the 10,000s column. Here we can see this one has a 0 in the 10,000 column, and this one has a 7 in the 10,000s column. And we know that 7 is a lot bigger than 0, so that we know that this number comes next. 908,007 is a lot smaller than 978,933. So if we put them in order, they will go from 135,294, then 908,007, and then 978,933. So there they are in order from smallest to biggest. Now I'm going to show you how to put numbers in different forms. So the form we are most used to is what we call standard form. And standard form is a fancy way of saying the numbers the way that we would naturally see them. So this number, when written out as 135,294, is how you show it in standard form. Another way of showing a number is through expanded form. And what expanded form means is that you take the number and you break it apart into each place value and you list them separately by addition signs. So we start with the first number, which is 1, which we know is in the hundreds of thousands column. So we want to make sure that we put in enough zeros. So here we can go and we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. We are not looking at the first one, so we're going to put 5 zeros in its place. Then we move on to the next number, which is 3 in the 10,000s column. So we write down 3, and we count how many numbers are left behind. 1, 2, 3, 4. So then we add in 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we go back to our next number, which is 5. This is in the thousands column, and we count how many zeros? 1, 2, 3. And as we can see, that, as we know, because we're used to thousands, looks like 5,000. I'm going to continue down below because I've run out of space. So now I look for my next number, which is 2, which is in the hundreds column. So I write 200. We go back two more times. We have a 9 in the tens column, which is 90. And we go to the 4, which is in the ones column. So we add 4, and that's what expanded form. The last form that we're going to look at is called word form. And so we're going to look at the word form of 135,294. And what word form means is you write down how you say it. So you write 135,000. You don't write the and for the comma though. When we write words out for math, an and means a decimal. So this time we don't actually say and. So we've got 135,000, and then we write the next number, 200, 94. Right, so you can see 135,294. The last thing we need to know is what happens when we're looking at place value in standard, expanded, and word form when we have zeros in some place values. When we do expanded form, we would look at the first number, which is 9, and we write down 900,000. There's no value in the 10,000s column, so we're not going to write anything. We skip over to the thousands column and we write down 8,000. And then there's a 0 in the hundreds column, so there's no point in writing 0 hundreds as well as 0 tens. So then we just write the 7 number. So it's 908,000. And that's how we write it when we say it. We write 908,007. Remember, do not write that and because that means a decimal and there are no decimals in our number. So that number again is 908,007.